I had another carnivore week, but this week there was no tracking, no weighing, no measuring, no intermittent fasting, no rules. It was just intuitive eating. So I'm going to show you what I ate and give you a weigh-in. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lydia. If you're new here, I have been on this ketogenic low carb lifestyle of mine for over 3 years, and I am on my mission to a healthier me. I have lost about 85 pounds to date, and I am trying to inch closer and closer to losing 100 pounds lost. I'm getting closer. So if you want to see me reach my goal, make sure to stick around, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you find out when all the videos are getting posted. Now, this week was a challenging week. So I've been doing carnivore for the past month. Now, it wasn't like a carnivore challenge that I said I was going to set out to complete a month. I was enjoying it as I was going, and I just kept kind of adding to it and adding to it and adding to it. And next thing you know, it's been a month later. This was a rougher week than the past few weeks. I found it very difficult to kind of eat the same things that I have been eating. But what I did do, what I wanted to make sure that I did this week was to not track and not intermittent fast. I really wanted to listen to my body, eat when I was hungry and stop when I was full, no matter what the clock said, no matter what the calories were, no matter what the protein and fat was. I was still trying to keep it a higher protein, obviously being carnivore this week, but I didn't want to stress about numbers. So let me show you what I ate and we'll chat afterwards. Check it out. Good morning. Happy Sunday. It is 5 minutes till 11 and I'm going to make my carnivore coffee. I've got my tablespoon of butter and my egg yolk. This week we are not tracking or intermittent fasting. We're eating when we're hungry and stopping when we're full. All right, we are easing off our sweeteners this week. I do have the unflavored LMNT electrolytes for this week, and I just finished my chocolate stevia, so that's it. The rest of this week, when I have my coffee, it will most likely not have any sweeteners in it. All right, I decided to make a carnivore pizza today for lunch. It is almost 1 and I have not eaten anything for today. I'm not going to put any rouse because A, I don't have any, and B, it's not technically carnivore. So all I'm going to do is I baked this chicken crust. I got the recipe off of Keto Connect's site. I believe it's just a can of chicken, 1 egg, and some Parmesan cheese. I'm just going to spray some olive oil on it, and then I'm going to top it with some pepperoni and cheese, and that's going to be my meal. All right, this is what it's looking like. Not super fancy, kind of basic. I'm going to throw this back in the oven for another 8 minutes, and then we should be good. Here is the finished product. It's the first time I ever made it without the sauce. Of course, talking about being a cleaner carnivore today, but I am putting ranch on it just because I cannot have pizza without ranch. So this is my meal. Happy Sunday. It is 6:15. I opened up a can of albacore tuna. I'm going to chop up a couple of boiled eggs and mix it with some mayonnaise and probably just scoop it out with some pork rinds. And that's going to be it for today. Good morning, happy Monday. It is 8:30 in the morning and I am ready for my coffee today. I'm going to do a carnivore coffee because it is so early. I want it to hold me over until whenever it is I'm going to eat my first meal for the day. So I'm still going to do a tablespoon of the Kerrygold butter, 1 egg yolk, and blend it up. I am going to skip the stevia addition that I normally put in my coffee. I think the high fat will still make it delicious and just not sweet. I got to get used to weaning it out. It is 12:05 and I am sitting down for my first meal of the day, which is, I think, a top sirloin steak cooked in Kerrygold butter, thanks to my dear husband, and 3 fried eggs. This is a pretty thick steak. See how thick it is? It's like a big old chunk of meat. And then we'll see how I feel. I'm not sure. I'm making turkey patties just to kind of meal prep for the rest of the week and to get it out of my freezer and have it in case I do want something else, another bite of protein or something. But I'm not sure. We'll see how hungry I am after this, because this week I'm just listening to my body. All right, it is 3:37 and I'm just now going to get my electrolytes in. You know, I'm going to tell you, this unsweetened day I've had today has not been the most enjoyable. I made my coffee this morning and I did my carnivore coffee with the yolk and the butter, and I did not put any sweetener in it, and it was not, you know, it's never as good as when you have the sweetener. Same thing with this electrolyte water. I'm trying to do this one-handed. It's never as good as, sorry. It's never as good as when it was sweetened, right? I mean, this is the raw, unflavored, and I just prefer my sweetened version. I'm a little cranky about it, you know? Getting a little frustrated that I have to sacrifice all the things that make me happy. Yeah, we'll see how this week goes. All right, it is 4:30 p.m. and I am getting a little hungry, so I've got these 2 turkey patties that I'm going to eat, and I made like a mayonnaise mustard concoction over here, and this is what it's looking like. It is 5:55 and I don't know what the deal is, but I'm like freaking hungry. Like, I'm still hungry. I feel like I've eaten enough today, but I can't kick this hunger, so I don't know what the deal is. I guess I'll just munch on a couple of these pepperonis and hope that it does the trick. Ugh. It is 7:50 in the morning, and part of this week's experiment is listening to our body. My stomach is a little bit growling, but I'm going to have my coffee first, which is still earlier than I normally allow myself to have coffee. But I kind of feel it today. After yesterday was such a rough day in adjusting. I don't know what it was, if it was the sweeteners or the carnivore. I'm just getting to my last leg. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah. All right, so I went ahead and put 2 tablespoons of this sweet creamer, and we are ready to make our coffee. So I really think skipping my sweetener in my coffee started my day off in such a bad way. And so I'm not going to do it today. I can't do it, guys. Sometimes you have to decide, do I want to choose misery or happiness? And honestly, caramel stevia in my coffee this morning is going to give me a little bit more happiness than I had yesterday in yesterday's coffee. So we are squirting in this caramel flavored stevia. Yes, I did add some sugar-free whipped cream on top. I'm going to start my day off with a smile. All right, it is almost 10 o'clock and I am about to eat my first meal of the day. I have turkey patties that I meal prepped yesterday. So I have 2 turkey patties and 3 over easy eggs that I cooked in Kerrygold butter, seasoned with salt and pepper. All right, it is 4:19 and I'm getting a little hungry. I made these carnivore pork chops in the air fryer. They are breaded with pork rinds and seasonings. I dipped it in a beaten egg, a little bit of heavy whipping cream, and then rolled them around in this pork chops, and they came out actually pretty perfect. Look at the inside of that. Can you see it? Nice. All right, so I'm gonna munch on this. All right, it is 7 p.m. I've got a tablespoon of the super creamer in here. I'm gonna have a cup of decaf because it's nice and cold outside. So I wanted to cozy up, watch TV with a warm cup of coffee. Good morning, happy Wednesday. It is 8:50 a.m. and I'm making my coffee this morning. I think the last time I ate yesterday was probably around 4:30. So I would say it's about 16 hours of fasting. I'm not tracking anything, not my fasting windows, not my macros. I didn't start my day off with a carnivore coffee again. I know I pulled out a steak to eat, and I figured the steak might have fat, and the butter that I'm probably gonna cook it in, and the eggs and all that stuff that I didn't need to add the extra. But I don't know. I mean, I'm making these calls day by day. I don't know if they're good calls or not, but we will see come Friday's weigh-in. Don't know if I've been eating too much on certain days and not enough on the other, or probably just right. It's all going to be a guessing game until Friday. All right, it is 10:20 and I'm about to eat my first meal of the day. I ended up making a thin steak that I had defrosted from yesterday, and I have about 3 scrambled eggs, and I topped it today with a little bit of shredded cheese. And I am thinking, it's been a while since I've done it, I'm gonna put a little dollop of sour cream on top. I am kind of tempted about the salsa, but I'm gonna skip the salsa and just put hot sauce and see if that does the trick. All right, it is 6:45. It's been about 2.5 hours since I finished up that little bit of the blackened chicken tenders. I've been running around taking Ivy to rehearsal and running a few errands. So I stopped at home, got a couple of things, and I saw this at the checkout. So sea salt and black pepper pork rinds. I'm probably gonna munch on this as I head home. All right, it is almost 9 o'clock and I'm going in with my coffee. I've got 1 tablespoon of the super creamer, a couple of pumps of my skinny syrup, sugar-free whipped cream on top. I abandoned my carnivore coffee this week. I'm just getting by. All right, it is Thursday, and it has been a while since I have updated my journal. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in my steps this week, and I'm not gonna lie, it has not been as well as the previous weeks. I think this cold weather has had me, making it very difficult for me to go outside and get the steps in. I still try and get them done inside, but it's not the same. So on Sunday I did 8,269. Monday, 10,000. Yay. 36. Oh. And then we still have the rest of these. So maybe I can try and get as many steps as possible like last week so I could raise my average up because it seems to be going down. All right, it's 1:21. We just got back in from running errands. It's like never go grocery shopping when you're starving. I haven't eaten all day. So I picked up a rotisserie chicken, and I'm just gonna probably tear into this like a mad woman. This is how well my no sweeteners is going this week. All right, this is what was left of my rotisserie chicken after I was done killing it. I'd say I ate about 2/3, 3/4. All right, this is later than usual. It is 7:02, and I'm gonna go ahead and make something to eat. I'm not gonna make a big old dinner, I don't think. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a couple of slices of this New York cheddar on this parchment paper in the air fryer to kind of melt it up, and then I'm gonna put a couple of slices of this roast beef and some mayonnaise, and I'm just gonna have a little roast beef and cheese roll up. Today all I had was the chicken. I don't feel like making like hamburger patties. I kind of don't feel like steak. I don't feel like eggs. I don't feel like any of that other stuff. So hopefully this will do the trick. All right, so this is what I have. I've got the melted New York white cheddar on the bottom, a few slices of roast beef, and a smear of mayonnaise. So it's not the cleanest or, creative meal, but I think it'll do the trick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of roll it up into a roll up and then eat it like that. Let me see if I can. And there you have it. It's just a roast beef and cheese roll up. Happy Thursday dinner. Good morning. Happy Friday. It is 8:25 in the morning and I am already making my coffee. I found some unflavored collagen in my pantry, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a scoop of that. It's been a while since I put some collagen. We did order some of the chocolate collagen just because we love it so much in our coffee. We were gonna try and do the unflavored, no sweetener thing this week, but that just did not pan out. I did buy this chocolate stevia, so I'm gonna do the unflavored collagen, squirt of chocolate stevia, and probably top it with my sugar-free whipped cream. Happy Friday. All right, it is 10:20 and I'm about to sit down for my first meal of the day. I just did a bacon, egg, and cheese scramble today. Today is Friday. I already did my weigh-in, so I will be talking to you about that in just a minute. But I think I'm gonna do pretty much like a ketovore day today. I am gonna go ahead and add some salsa to this. I am making a chuck roast in the Instant Pot, and I'll probably be having a holy guacamole cup with that. So, there you go. All right, I'm gonna put like a tablespoon of this in my eggs and call it a meal. All right, here is the roast that I made in the Instant Pot. It came out super, super tender, super juicy. And I'm gonna go ahead and top it with a holy guacamole cup and some pink Himalayan salt. All right, one of the goals that I wanted for this week was to try and cut out my sweetener. I went as far as ordering my LMNT electrolyte mix unflavored. I ran out of my chocolate collagen. I have some unflavored collagen that I forgot about, but I was trying to wean myself off. I was really trying to venture off into my hardcore carnivore world. And let me tell you, that first day really kicked it off on a bad. I didn't realize how much your morning coffee, if it really truly makes you happy, like if you don't have it, if you don't enjoy it in the morning, it can set off your day on the bad path, on the wrong foot. And that's what I noticed for me on Monday. It was very cranky, very irritable, and very upset at the fact that I couldn't enjoy my coffee that I normally did. Like I normally had, my chocolate collagen in it, or my chocolate stevia, or something that was familiar and comforting, especially with the cold weather. And I had my coffee, but it just wasn't as enjoyable. So I just realized that it set me off to be cranky the rest of the day. Then it set me off to be resenting this entire challenge. Then I was counting the days until this week was over because I just couldn't do it anymore. Everything was soured to me after that. I was realizing like at the end of Monday that I was like, oh my God, maybe I should just throw in the towel now. Like, what's the point? Why even finish this? Forget it. You know what? I should just go back to keto. At least I can have, sides and add some variety. And I don't even want to eat steak anymore. And I'm tired of eggs. And I was just in this like funk of a headspace. And then I stopped and said, okay, just add the sweetener back in. It's okay. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. You are doing well. Like just because you add the sweetener back in and give yourself a little bit of happiness is not going to throw your progress out the window. So I had to like talk myself off the ledge, as I often have to do when my brain wants to kind of fight with myself and make this all or nothing situation, you know? So I ended up getting my stevia, adding it back in. And then once I alleviated that expectation from myself of no sweeteners, then it wasn't so bad after all. Then I still kept it carnivore, and I was like, well, maybe this week I should have a couple of days where it's keto or ketovore or something, just so it doesn't feel so restrictive. But I really didn't want to do that because I knew starting next week I wanted to go kind of into a hybrid of what I had been doing. I've been doing carnivore for the past 4 weeks. I've been doing keto for the past 3 years. And I like them both. I just don't know if I can do both solely on its own. Like I think it's good for me to interchange certain meals with carnivore meals or interchange certain days with carnivore days. And so that's one of the things that I've realized this week was a nice balance. Like maybe I have a keto meal for lunch and I have a carnivore dinner, or maybe this day I feel like eating something that is very keto, but then tomorrow I just want a ribeye and eggs and that's it. And that's my one met. Maybe one day I'm doing 2 meals and the next day I'm only doing 1. And so I think it's like all of these challenges have come to a head. All of these experiments has given me this realization of I can take a little bit of everything that I've learned along the way and kind of create something that just works for me. So that being said, I do want to move forward next week with the intention of being ketovore. I do want to do a video, look out for it next. I might just shoot it right after this one, where I want to talk about the things that I've learned while going carnivore. So stay tuned for that. But this week I want to talk weigh-in. So let's chat about what it said on the scale. So last week I weighed in at 178.8. It was a gain of 1.4 pounds from the previous week. So I was not too thrilled with it, but I did not want to throw my hands up in the air and give up just yet. So I wanted to do one more week and see where we ended up. And this week I weighed in at 176.6. So that is a loss of 2.2 pounds. So I lost what I gained last week and I went even further from where my first weigh-in was for November. So I am excited about that. I will take the 2.2 loss with excitement. I am really, really excited about that. Now, I did not get the steps in as I had hoped for. I don't know if it's the cold weather. I mean, I can come up with excuses all day long, right? I mean, when it's too hot outside and the mosquitoes are bothering me, then I don't go for a walk. But wait, now it's too cold and it's a little too wet, so I'm not going to go for a walk. You know, it's like giving me every excuse not to exercise. So I feel good I did try and push myself to get as many steps as I could without going for a 30-minute walk. I mean, I tried to get a lot of movement indoors. I could have done better this week. I plan to do better next week. I know next week is Thanksgiving, so it might be a little bit more difficult, but that doesn't mean impossible. So I do want to push myself to get more movement in next week. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it was a good week once I realized I don't have to live and die by my own rules. You know, it's okay to switch things up and accommodate your happiness sometimes if it still keeps you on track. So we'll talk about that in the next video. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment. Thanksgiving is around the corner. What are your plans? Are you planning to stay on track, or are you planning to have an off keto day? I'd love to hear about it. Post it in the comments below. Leave me an emoji of a turkey or a dinner plate with the fork and the knife. Leave me some kind of emoji to let me know that you got to this point in the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.